Let me know what you think. So question number one is, and this is kind of a throwback to last week's SmackDown question, but question number one is, Nerdy D, did Monday Night Raw sway you back to Team Raw, or are you still on Team SmackDown as far as WWE goes? And let's be real. Raw this week only solidified what I thought I already knew, and that is I'm going to double down and say I'm 100% a SmackDown guy. If there was any doubt coming into this week's Monday Night Raw, this Raw erased all of the doubt for me. And I'm not saying this isn't supposed to be an indictment of Monday Night Raw. I don't even think Monday Night Raw was bad. I just am starting to see that Monday Night Raw is objectively not for me. I've grown tired of the repetition. I think I'm growing tired of the characters. I'm tired of the oversaturation of certain people on a 3-hour show every week. It's the same thing over and over again. And I had patience for a little while, but I think I finally just kind of hit my wit's end and I go, okay, SmackDown is my show. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's because I'm over it or if I've just genuinely never picked up on this little detail. But Monday Night Raw to me feels like a show that has a bunch of above average wrestlers that are overly trying to be entertaining. They're going out of their way to try to appeal to a crowd. And I know that sounds stupid because, wrestling, you're supposed to be extra. You're supposed to be acting for the crowd. But it just feels like to me when I watch Monday Night Raw, there's just a little over-the-top emphasis of trying to get the crowd to react. And maybe that's an overreaction to the crowd kind of falling dead in the last couple of weeks. But I noticed it this week. I saw it this week when Cody Rhodes talks. There's just a cadence that I don't like. It's a pandering cadence. And then I definitely felt it with Damian Priest. If you listen to how Damian Priest responded to Cody Rhodes, you can definitely hear this strange speech pattern. Like they're trying to overemphasize certain points to the crowd and get them to react. And like I said, I don't know if that's because they've had a couple weeks where the crowd just hasn't reacted, or I don't know if I've just been naive to the fact that Monday Night Raw has superstars that tend to kind of pander to the crowd. Now, stack that on top of the fact that I'm already pretty tired of Seth Rollins' character, and though I love her in the ring, Becky Lynch can be a tad bit cringy to me on the microphone. I just feel like Raw is like the ADD of pro wrestling. I feel like Raw needs a Xanax. It needs to just calm down a little bit. It feels like it's kind of in my face for 3 hours. That's 3 hours. That's a little much for 3 hours of wrestling for it to just kind of feel like overacting nonstop. And let me set the record straight, because when I say over the top, I'm not referring to the segments that are done correctly and purposefully in that way. Like I love what Pretty Deadly does on SmackDown that I would consider to be over the top. And I love what Alpha Academy does on Monday Night Raw that I would also consider to be over the top. But I feel like there's this level of overemphasis in things that are supposed to be serious and come off with a sense of reality where it just almost feels like I'm watching a high school play sometimes. And I can already hear a subset of the IWC that says, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. The problem with that mentality, number one, is I have a podcast. I have to talk about this stuff. But the real problem with that is that littered in between some of that cringy wrestling stuff that I don't like, there's really good content on Monday Night Raw. It's just not 3 hours worth of content. There's 2 good hours on Monday Night Raw. I almost think that there's a podcast in just deciphering what you should and shouldn't watch when you watch Monday Night Raw. Look at it. Like the tag team division is starting to look phenomenal. You have Gunther, you have Gable. There's a lot to like. So I'm not going to just completely shit on Monday Night Raw. But it's just not connecting to me as far as the main storylines go right now.